Hello, hello, hello. Okay, today I'm going to show you how I make CBD suppositories. Now, I want to add, uh, there's no health claims here. I'm not giving you medical advice. Um, I'm simply sharing with you how I make my CBD suppositories. And let me show you what the ingredients are. First, I'm using um, fully activated or full spectrum CBD powder. Okay, I'm using THCA. I'm using organic stearic acid, using as an emulsifier, hardener. I'm using frankincense essential oil. And I'm also using myrrh essential oil. I also have a digital thermometer that is good to 0.01 grams. You need one that goes down that low to measure your ingredients. I have a part of a double boiler, and I have this bowl here which I use with the boiler. I put hot water in here, and this acts as my heat. But I first use the boiler with a saucepan like this, and I put over it. And this is what I use to heat the cacao butter and this is what I use to heat the cacao butter. Then I take it over to uh, the other bowl here, which is just boiling water. I have the fire on here while I'm doing the cacao butter, and then you want to turn the heat down when you go to mix the CBD ingredients. Okay. So I also have a pipette, and I have enough molds here for 48 suppositories. These are silicone-based molds, and these molds are plastic. You see the cap comes off of here, and then you have to push the suppository out this way. I prefer the silicone molds because they're real easy. All you do is just push out the suppositories, and they're so much easier to clean and stuff. So I have 4 of these, and I have 4 of these. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is we want to measure out all of our ingredients. So I take some wax paper, and I measure out all the different ingredients except for the frankincense and the myrrh, because I'm going to be adding drops to the mixture. And but everything else you want to measure out. I put them on wax paper because it's easy to take the powders off of the wax paper and mix in with the ingredients. And so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video now while I measure everything out. Okay, so I have all my ingredients measured out. I have placed the cacao butter in the double boiler here on the stove, and I'm just going to let that heat up and fully melt. And then uh, after that has fully melted, I'm going to put the stearic acid in there. And I had that measured out here. So I measured out 96 grams of cacao butter, and 11.52 grams of stearic acid. And as soon as the cacao butter fully melts, I'm going to go ahead and put the stearic acid in there and get that in nice and mixed. Let me make sure my water is boiling over here. Okay. Okay, that is just about mixed. And I'm just going to turn the fire down, all the way down. I don't want that too hot. And now I'm going to mix in the stearic acid, and I'm using a small spatula in order to do it. So, okay, I have the stearic acid in there. Now I want to make sure that the stearic acid completely dissolves in here. Okay. I think it's just about all done. Okay, so now the stearic acid has completely dissolved in the cacao butter. Let me go ahead and take that out. And I have some water boiling over here that I'm going to put in here and bring the boiler over to this pot so I can mix the other ingredients with it. So let me see, I think this is about done. I think this is just about done, all right? So I'm going to take the boiler from this pot and I'm going to bring it over here, place the double boiler in there, and then I'm going to pour the hot water in this pot here up to the point where it doesn't float. So that's good. Okay, I've got that hot water in there. I'm going to go ahead and put this back. And now I'm going to mix the other ingredients. And for that, I like to use, I don't like to use the spatula for that part of it. I prefer sometimes to use this little stir stick, glass stir stick. But the spatula is fine. It's just a matter of preference. If you don't have something like this came with a pack of these that I had ordered. The molds here, and so right now to make sure that that's stirred up. Okay, now I'm going to add the full spectrum CBD, and I'm kind of put that in. And here the CBD was 3.6 grams of full spectrum CBD. And I'm just going to put that in there and get it all mixed in. So, make sure I get every little speck of powder in there. Okay, and want to mix that up nice and good to where it has completely dissolved in the cacao butter and stearic acid. Okay. Hey, that looks pretty good. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is put the stearic acid, the THCA, and this is 0.29 grams. It was actually 0.288 grams, but since my scale only goes to 2 decimal places, I did 0.29 grams of THCA. So I'm going to get that all in there, make sure I get all the powder in there. And then I'm going to make sure that's all good and mixed up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Looks great. Mm-hmm. All right. That looks really good. Make sure that's nice and mixed up. I still see a couple little flakes in there, so I want to make sure that that's good mixed up there. So, and you want to do this. You don't want to do this all over fire. That's why I use the water, because it's hot enough to get it done, and I don't think it's hot enough to activate the THCA, because when you activate the THCA, it actually becomes THC, and you can be affected by the THCA, so you don't feel the effects of it. Okay, all right, so that looks good. And now I'm going to put in the myrrh and the frankincense. So this calls for 85 drops of each. So I'm just going to take this and do 85 drops. Seems to be a little plugged up here. Uh, 4, 5. It's coming out really slow. 6, 7. I'm gonna pause the video while I put in the 85 drops of the myrrh and the frankincense. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm using a dropper to do the drop from the myrrh. Seventy, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. All right. Okay, so that's 85 drops of myrrh. And let's just put this. Yeah, I don't know if this was just clogged up or if it wasn't working, but okay, now we want to do 85 drops of the frankincense. And we'll use the same. Well, this has a thing. Let's see if it actually works. No, let's go ahead and take this out. And let's go ahead and use the dropper again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40. 43, 44, 45, 47, 47. Okay. All right. 85 drops of that. And now we want to make sure uh, the we mix that in good with our mixture. Makes it a lot easier, because those are oils to get it mixed in. But I just want to make sure that it's all from what I understand, the frankincense and the myrrh have a synergistic effect to it. So I want to make sure that those really combine and it gets really mixed in there. Okay. All right, that should be good. Okay, now it's just a matter of putting in the with my pipette, putting it into the molds. And let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm using this pipette here, and I'm just going to uh, take it and just fill up the molds. As simple as that. So I'm going to pause the video while I do that for all of these. Okay, so I've completed all of the molds, 48 molds, and I have some left over. That's most likely because the recipe called for 2-gram molds or 2 milliliter molds, and these molds are, I think they're 1.75 milliliter. So I'll just go ahead and let this solidify, and then I'll melt again, and I'll make some extra molds once these molds are empty. And that's how that's how I make my CBD suppositories. All of the information will be in the description of the video. But thank you for watching.